There's a reason why everyone dreads leg day. It's just difficult. Mentally and physically, you feel like you're about to die at every moment. I think everybody would rather be training their chest or their arms instead of training their legs because it's just so difficult. However, we all know that we have to train our legs. We don't want to end up like SpongeBob, looking a little bit weird and not proportionate. It just doesn't look right. After many years of working out and trying to find out ways to actually make leg days more bearable, I think I finally figured it out. In today's video, I'm going to share with you how you can really enjoy leg days. Like, I'm not kidding, I feel like this will actually make a difference. First of all, we will be going through why your leg days suck, how you can actually make it easier so you can get more leg gains with less pain. Finally, a sample workout program that you can follow in order to get those leg gains. Let's get right into it. So first of all, why do leg days feel so hard? The main reason is because it consists of really huge muscle groups such as your quads, glutes, and hamstrings. These are all very big muscle groups, and to actually generate the force for these leg compound movements, they require a lot of effort on your body, and that is why it feels very fatiguing as compared to just doing a set of bicep curls or tricep extensions. It also could be a programming issue. We often see those leg days of bodybuilders going crazy, doing so many sets, crazy drop sets, so many exercises, but the truth is, it simply isn't the best way of training. Sure, it can get you results, but however, there is a smarter way to go about the training. There's too many exercises in one session, which makes it incredibly fatiguing, and also too many sets for each exercise. Sometimes there's just this diminishing returns. How can we actually make it easier then? The first thing that you can do is to actually split the work across more days. You might be thinking, shit, I'm gonna have more leg days instead. Isn't that like worse? I found that actually makes things easier. Imagine doing 4 exercises in one day versus doing 4 exercises across 2 days. This means that for each day, it's going to be more manageable and also more productive because each session will be easier in a sense since you're not doing as much work. However, it doesn't mean that you're going to slack off on the exercises. Since you're going to be doing less work, it means that you also have more energy to really focus on the sets and make it really quality sets. It ensures that you can push hard on these minimal 2 exercises that you'll be doing on each set. In the end, this actually helps to generate a better stimulus overall because muscles generally take about 24 to 48 hours to recover. When we actually train it more frequently, in this case 2 times a week, this allows us to actually maximize the stimulus that we can provide on our legs. Compare this to if you just train your legs once a week. Maybe some parts of your legs have already recovered. Typically for me, it's the quads. My quads recover faster than my hamstrings, and you can actually train them one more time in the week to actually get more gains. But if you just train them simply once a week, you just simply won't be maximizing the amount of gains that you can make. And in that one session where you're hammering all these leg exercises in just one session, you're just gonna feel very tired and unmotivated to go for your next leg day, rather than if you split it up into 2 separate days and making it more manageable mentally and also physically. The second thing is you want to actually reduce your volume. The thing about leg training is that it's incredibly fatiguing. You want to actually limit the number of exercises that you will be doing. Keep it to a max of about 2 to 3 compound exercises per session. The rest of it can be isolation movement. This makes it more manageable for your training because you know that I'm just gonna give it my all for these 1 or 2 exercises that I'll be doing, and then I can call it a day. There's a point of diminishing returns once again if you go beyond like 2 to 3 compound exercises in a single session. You're gonna be feeling overly fatigued, and overall the stimulus on your later exercises won't be as good because you're already tired from the first few exercises that you're doing. You want to also reduce the number of sets and reps for your leg training. A low volume approach for each exercise of about 1 to 3 sets of 4 to 8 reps will overall be manageable for most people. If your primary goal is to actually build muscle, the key thing that you have to focus is to actually get as many reps as close to failure as possible. Having a lower volume, lower rep range is more optimal for muscle growth in this case because it actually allows you to reach true muscular failure easier. The low volume, high intensity approach is what I actually recommend if you want to make your leg days feel much better. For each exercise, we want to train at high intensity, meaning about 0 to 2 reps to failure. When you actually do a low volume approach, you have to make up for that by increasing the quality of it, which is increasing the intensity. You need to be training harder in order to make up for that lower volume approach. With a lower rep scheme, there is less cardiovascular demands, allowing you to actually push closer to failure without actually feeling like you're super gassed out and prematurely ending the set. In pushing closer to failure, it also allows you to produce maximal mechanical tension on the target muscle in order to elicit muscle growth. When we push close to failure, our reps involuntarily start to slow down, and in this process is actually when we are producing the most mechanical tension that is the prime driver of muscle growth, and growth for your legs. So we've gone through how you can make your leg days easier, and here's a sample training split that you can follow that follows a 2 times a week frequency, and it's divided into a quad focused leg day and a hamstring focused leg day. Note that for most of the exercises, I will be using machines as they are more stable, allowing you to push closer to failure without worrying too much about stability demands. Hence, it could be more optimal for muscle growth, and it's also mentally easier. The first session will be a quad focused leg day, and we are starting off with hamstring isolation movement just to warm up the knees, etc. You can also move it to the later part of the session if you enjoy. We will be doing 2 to 3 sets of 4 to 8 reps on the seated hamstring curl or any other hamstring curl variation that you enjoy. Then we move on to a squat movement, which is a quad bias movement. What you want to focus on when you're doing these squats is to actually allow for as much knee flexion as possible. This will allow you to bias the quads more. We will be doing 2 to 3 sets of 4 to 8 reps as well. Exercises they can do is the elevated Smith machine squat, barbell squat, hack squat, or pendulum squat. Then we move on to a leg press movement, quad bias leg press movement as well. You want to move your feet as far down as possible to allow for as much knee flexion as possible. We will be doing 1 to 2 sets of 4 to 8 reps here, as we've already been kind of fatigued from the squat movement earlier on, and so we don't need to do as many sets. You want to do a leg press movement, 2 legs, or also you can do it on a single leg. Then we move on to calves isolation, just 2 to 3 sets of 4 to 8 reps. You can also go higher if you want. We will just be focusing on a straight leg calves on a leg press. Then we have our second session. Preferably you'll be doing this about 2 to 3 days later to allow for sufficient rest for your leg muscles. This will be a hamstring focused session. First exercise will be a compound hip hinge. We'll be doing 1 to 3 sets of 4 to 8 reps. You can do Romanian deadlifts, stiff leg deadlifts, or back extensions, anything that feels more comfortable for you. Just note that Romanian deadlifts will be more of a glute bias exercise where you will be having a greater knee bend as compared to stiff leg deadlifts, which will be more of a hamstring focused exercise. You can do back extensions if you're afraid of Romanian deadlifts or stiff leg deadlifts, as I feel that back extensions are a rather stable movement that will also help you to alleviate any kind of lower back pain that you might have if you're doing these Romanian or stiff leg deadlifts. The second exercise that we will be doing is a glute or quad compound movement, 1 to 3 sets of 4 to 8 reps. We will be doing Bulgarian split squats. You can do this on the Smith, barbell, or dumbbell, or you can also do lunges. I find that doing it on the Smith is the least painful way to do these Bulgarian split squats, because first of all, for dumbbells, there's a really great demand in your whole balance and just requires a lot of mental energy and focus in general. When you have the Smith machine, it is more stable and you can also push closer to failure without worrying too much about your balance. Thus, this will be more productive for muscle growth, allowing you to generate as much force as possible and not worry too much about stability demands. Then we move on to a quad isolation movement, 2 to 3 sets of 4 to 8 reps. We'll be doing the classic leg extensions here, and finally we just end off with some calves isolation, 2 to 3 sets of 4 to 8 reps. I also will prefer that you'll be doing this on a straight leg, calves on a leg press movement, or any other way is fine. You can do it also on the hack squat. If you want to know how you can actually fit your leg training with other muscle groups, then I highly recommend that you check out my 4-day upper lower split. It is available at the top right hand corner of this video. Inside, I show how you can actually put your leg work in and mix it up with other muscle groups such as your arms and your shoulders, making it more enjoyable for you to actually look forward to these leg days, because you know that you're not just going to be training your legs, you will be training muscle groups that you know you enjoy, such as your arms and your shoulders. So I highly recommend that you check it out if you want a more full and complete workout program that also comprises of other muscle groups fitting in together with this leg program. If you want a shorter workout program compared to the 4-day version, you can also check out my minimalist 3-day program. It's available for free in the description as well. The primary thing that you will want to focus on when you're trying to grow your legs is progressive overload. This is really the key sign that you are actually building muscle. So what is progressive overload? Progressive overload is when you're able to do more weight for a given number of reps, or more reps for a given weight at a specific intensity, meaning reps to failure, with the same technique, meaning your form doesn't change or you shortchange yourself to make it easier to get the reps. The ability to progressive overload is actually the result of the adaptations that have occurred because of the stimulus that we have provided for our muscle. When we provide a stimulus to our muscles through resistance training, they actually adapt and grow. And when they grow in this size, they are actually then able to generate more force. When they're able to generate more force, this means that you'll be able to progressive overload. It's really the key measure of knowing that you are building muscle. Hope you guys enjoyed this video on how you can make your leg days suck less so that you can make more leg gains with less pain. Legs are really essential in building a complete physique, so highly recommend that you guys try not to skip it. This is a really good way to make your leg days more enjoyable, and I hope you guys found the value in this. If you like these kinds of videos, do like and subscribe. It will really help me a lot, and comment down below if you want to see more of these kinds of videos or any other suggestions that you would like. See you guys in the next one.